Okay, we're here with our Alcort Super Sailfish Zaza. I'm going to do finish up a little bit of work on the inside. One of the things a little different on Zaza, she has a splash guard on the deck. Most of the Sailfish didn't have splash guards. There's really no point in it. You're going to get super wet anyway. So, but the way it was attached, they just drilled right through the deck, and a little fastener here, another one over here. That's only a 1/4 inch of plywood holding it, so we're going to add this little piece of wood, a little backer block there, and fix it in place. So if someone decides to attach another splash guard later, they'll have it similar to the backer blocks they have for the handrails on the side. We're going to use Jamestown Distributors thickened epoxy, and you'll have to. Today we're filming through the lightning hole cam, so. This here so I can get some of the things done the way this works. It's got the little cap on it. You take the cap loose, and it's got there's two parts there. There's a resin and a hardener, and you can put this in a caulk gun and either squeeze it out and mix it with the paint stick, or you can take this mixing tube, put that on there, and that tube will do the work for you. It's got these little, see the little channels in the side there. It'll mix the epoxy. They squeeze out a fair amount. Put a little strip there. And they're going to put this in place. This thickened epoxy doesn't need a lot of pressure like wood glue does. It just only needs a little bit of pressure just to make sure the epoxy's contacting the work surface. So you might be able to see it squeezing out along the bottom there, and that's what we're looking for. So once you see that squeeze out, there's really no point in putting any more pressure on it. In fact, if you put too much pressure, you'll can force the epoxy out of the joint. You'll have an epoxy starved joint. So that I'll put just a little small weight on it, maybe product placement here. Maybe this little can of primer here that. Just to hold it there while it cures. If we were worried about this being a structural joint, we would probably sand some of that paint off of there and have a wood-to-wood contact. I just need enough so that someone drills a pilot hole for this splash guard, this won't pop off. So between the epoxy and a little bit of pressure, it's going to stay on there just fine. So we're going to fly out of the lightning hole now. See, we'll put another one on the other side there. Spin around. We've got the panels ready. Let's see outside of the panel. Here's the inside. We primed it with some latex house paint. Kind of figure if that'll just help the water shed and run down out to a drain hole. So if you get water in here, you can get it drained out. Speaking of drain holes, these boats are built. These frames don't seal up. There's a little notch right there. There's little notches all along these frames in the keel that and a little space that allows water to drain so that you don't get water trapped in this compartment. Also on each corner we've made sure there's a little hole that water can actually drain under this. In some areas we cut out channels, a little hole as needed, so that you can tip the boat up and get the water back to the aft drain or the forward drain. Use a little shop vac to suck it out, or just let gravity take it out. Now go back to what we're working on here. We can mention this splash guard, if you can imagine the boat right side up where it would normally be. There's the little splash guard that was added. They say the Sailfish are the boats that you learned how to swim on. I'll back you up. Here's the this Sailfish built in the 50s. This wooden sunfish here is a Zip, built in 1953. Doing a good job of holding that cover. And here's a little standard Sailfish named Winnie. Standard meaning it's the 11-foot, 7-inch version. Doing a good job of throwing some shop tools. And here's Chip, another 1963 sunfish. So we're about ready to epoxy this bottom panels back on. We can do the same thing, is put a little bead of thickened epoxy along here. When you're doing work like this, you also want to put the epoxy on both surfaces. Same thing with wood glue, so that you don't get a joint that's starved of glue. So you'll have wood along, epoxy along here, epoxy along the edge, and we're gonna put screws in a few spots just to pull it down, and then go along with little 3/4 inch ring shank nails. Looks like about every inch and 3/4 they put these nails in to get it nailed back down. That's what's going on today. Hope y'all are having a good one.